Bonjour K-Station TV, je suis Ivan, merci de me recevoir.
Le chanteur Evan de l'agence Evermore Music a fait son comeback avec le titre AI il y a quelques semaines. Aujourd'hui, vous le retrouvez sur K-Station TV afin d'en découvrir un peu plus sur cet artiste, son univers et son futur. Bonjour Evan, et merci à toi de prendre un moment pour répondre à nos questions. Dans un premier temps, peux-tu te présenter à nos lecteurs?
Well, hello, je m'appelle Ivan, je suis un chanteur ici, je suis coréen-canadienne. J'habite ici, en Corée du Sud maintenant. I'm a singer here, so very nice to meet you.
La musique semble avoir une place importante dans ta vie depuis ton enfance. Quel était le rôle de la musique lorsque tu étais plus jeune?
In the early years, so I was actually raised in a city called Montreal. It's in the eastern part of Canada. I actually lived in a church. My father is a pastor, so I lived on the third floor of a church. And you know, as long as I remember, music was always a part of my life. I had access to all these different instruments. They were like my little toys ever since I was a child. And you know, being a part of church choir, being a part of church band, and being a K-pop fanatic, going to singing rooms every day, yeah, my childhood would not be explainable without music.
Tu sembles inspiré par différents styles. Comment te définirais-tu musicalement?
That's a difficult question. My musical genre, I always have a difficult time categorizing my music because my music tend to cross over different genres at all times. Like, for instance, my debut song Tell the World was very R&B pop-ish.
솔직히 자랑하고 싶어 미칠 것 같아요. 나도 잘 알아 얼마나 큰 부담일지 너 이기적인 바람인 것 같기도. What can I do?
While my Knotted Wings album was more like EDM pop-ish.
누구보다도 큰 날개를 갖고 있지. 날개를 갖고 있지.
At the same time, 사랑해봤자 was like totally indie R&B kind of feel.
사랑해봤자 뭐해 보지 않아도 다 뻔한 얘기 약속해봤자 뭐해 결국엔 헤어질 텐데.
So, if I would have to put them into a specific label, I would call them hybrid or cross-genre.
Tu as officiellement débuté le 5 juillet 2018 avec Tell the World. Peux-tu nous dire ce qui a changé depuis tes débuts au niveau de ta musique, ta personnalité, ta philosophie de vie?
It's been a long time. My debut was Tell the World in 2018. That's already 3 years back. I was young. But to be honest, I was a little bit more careful when dealing with music. Writing the melodies down, I was much more considerate when writing down the lyrics. I wanted everything to be perfectly set at the time. But throughout the 3 years of promotion and developing my career as a musician here in K-pop industry, I realized that there's no limit in music. I realized that the best music, my music that my fans love the most, tend to portray my personal life and my stories. So ever since, I've been writing down all my life into different lyrics and, you know, getting inspirations from here and there and putting them down to a form of music. And I think I became much more raw and much more bolder in terms of music creation.
Tu viens de faire ton retour avec une nouvelle chanson, AI. Les paroles sont chargées d'émotions comme la dévotion, la solitude, l'amour désintéressé. Comment as-tu réussi à glisser autant de sensibilité dans ton texte en t'inspirant d'un article scientifique?
So, just to give you a TMI, it was 2019, I think. I was writing my graduation thesis for my master's degree. I majored in communication, and our major kind of deals with communication between human beings, communication between human and devices and like animals and all kinds of communications. And at this one point, I was searching for references, and this one specific paper dealt with the topic of the emotions human beings face when we deal with virtual assistants like Siri or Alexa or Genie or whatever. All these AI devices. It wasn't really helpful for my graduation thesis, to be honest, but on my way back home, I thought that was really cool. Like the whole fact that we actually feel a certain emotion when dealing with these little devices. So on the way back, I was kind of like trying to talk with Siri here, and you know, like when you ask a question, she or he answers me back, and that kind of experience built up into this new song called Artificial Intelligence. I tried to bring Siri out to life. I tried to put its emotions down into the lyrics. Sorry.
La mélodie, douce et chaleureuse, contraste avec le côté un peu plus mélancolique des paroles. Était-ce ton souhait dès le départ?
It actually was. For the song AI, unlike many of the other songs I have, I wrote down the lyrics first. Concerning the melodies or the rhythms or how I'm gonna play the instruments, I wanted it to portray a kind of an ironic mood. Meaning, you know how the lyrics portray those melancholic, that lonely feel? Yet, I wanted this device to always have that neutral feel. So in contrast to that lower depressed mood, I want the song itself, the tune itself, to be a little bit more uplifting. So I think that kind of came down to what AI sounds like right now.
Quels sont les bons et les mauvais côtés des nouvelles technologies d'après toi?
C'est vraiment français, ces questions. c'est vraiment européen. It's very difficult. C'est vraiment difficile. First of all, premièrement, these new gadgets, they are so convenient. It takes care of like more than 50% of what we use to take care of ourselves. It takes care of our schedules, it wakes us up, it records all our biological rhythm, it checks our health, it does everything for us. It remembers our friend's phone number, it remembers our birthdays, and so on. So in terms of life, when dealing with life, it's much more convenient. Yet the sad factor actually comes out from this convenience. I do not remember my friend's phone number anymore. I'm not sure if I could wake up to the sound of birds singing anymore. I'm not sure if I could actually walk my dog without a phone for more than 2 hours, because I would get so nervous and anxious without my phone. So yeah, all those natural parts, all those solitary moments, and all those peaceful, that childhood vibe when you were just killing time at the playground with your friends, playing Tag-O-Rit. Those are the things I miss the most. I think the children nowadays are definitely missing out on that analog, old, natural fun that we used to have. So I guess that's a small part of the pros and the cons of these new smart devices. That's my dog, c'est mon chien Monacy. Vraiment mignon.
Juste pour rire, crois-tu que les robots domineront un jour le monde?
Oh, that's a very tough question. Bien sûr. One day. I don't think the robots will dominate humanity actively. I don't think like AI devices would suddenly come to life and like shoot us all and like make us their slaves or anything. But passively speaking, I think all these robots will carefully and sophisticatedly get involved into our lives. Meaning, like we won't be able to do anything by ourselves at this one point. We will be so out of control, I think. Even now, I don't think I can survive a week without a phone, to be honest. So in that way, I think robots will definitely passively penetrate into our lives in the future.
Parlons maintenant de ton futur. Comment vois-tu ton avenir en tant qu'artiste?
Le futur.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Short-term wise, I want to try to tackle down all sorts of types of music. I want to try out different genres. I want to try out different styles, different instruments for my music. Try to break down the limits and the walls because, you know, as I said before, music has no limits. Long-term wise, I would like to be a traveler, a musician who travels. I do not want to be restricted to a specific borderline. I want to go around the world with my guitar and my dog, maybe, if he's still alive by then.
They would never understand.
Sing for all my fans, you know, grow old with my fans is what I ultimately want in life. It could be a small concert or a big dorm or a concert hall, I don't know, wherever my fans are, wherever Navies are, I would like to go see them in person and really sing out for you guys until the moment I cannot sing anymore. So that would be my ultimate goal in the future.
As-tu un message pour tes fans?
Premièrement, je vais dire merci pour tous les Navies out there. I am nothing without you guys. You guys complete the name, the artist Ivan. I am just Johan Lee without you guys. So I just really want to say thank you so much. It was very, very fun today with this interview. Alors, merci pour cette interview. Until then, I really would love to go meet all the Naviers in France, in Paris, or wherever in France. So please wait for me to visit you guys very soon. I would love to go sing for you guys and sing some chansons like Fallen Leaves or whatever, all those chansons. Till then, please stay safe. Send me your support and love because I really, really appreciate them. And please look out for all the new music that I'll be putting out there in the near future. Merci beaucoup encore et au revoir.
Nous remercions Evan et Evermore Music d'avoir pris le temps de répondre à nos questions. N'hésitez pas à regarder le dernier MV de la chanson AI de Evan et à vous abonner à ses SNS. Pour plus d'interviews et de vidéos, il vous suffit de cliquer sur abonner et d'activer la petite cloche sans oublier de nous suivre sur nos SNS. Mais pour l'instant, c'est cut.